I'm very excited to be here. It's really great to see 300 people from different parts of India coming together in just one show. I'll call this a show because, it's a virtual exchange and we are seeing our own movies. Quite exciting times, isn't it? So you have a lot of information already from Nikhil, from Nopur. I may not be saying something new, but probably I'll give you some more insights in terms of what I personally think are really critical. Building skills in the digital world. Skills comes very, very naturally to all of us, isn't it? Imagine a small child, a newborn baby who's crying all the time. From morning to evening, he's just crying. He or she is just crying and you keep wondering why is a child crying, but that's a skill. you know so the louder you cry, the faster you get attention. And then the children start growing into teenagers and you develop a new skill. You start whining all day. You're whining constantly. I can afford to say that because my children are not here in this room. So as kids, you start whining and you start getting new skill. Some skills come very, very naturally to us. And then you grow up and you go to college, you become a little bit more responsible. You're seeing the best part of the world. Everything is changing. Suddenly all sorts of new responsibilities come. You want to take your career seriously and you're bombarded with information. Everybody tells you have to go and learn the skill, you have to learn that skill. So which skill do you really focus on with so much of information? There are soft skills, there are natural skills, there are personal skills, hard skills. So how do you focus? What's the right one for you? So let me make this a little interesting. And my favorite story, I love telling stories and I hope you'll enjoy this. So once upon a time, there lived a monk. Now don't ask me why it's once upon a time. All stories start with once upon a time. So once upon a time, there was a monk and, he was not a typical monk. He wanted to do something very, very different. He wanted to achieve things in life. He wanted to go to new heights and, he wanted to be very different. And he wanted something that will make him very proud of himself. So he goes exploring his personal journey and he does something. And after 30 years, suddenly he comes back. He meets his master and he tells him, Master, I've learned a great skill. I've learned a miracle. And the master is wondering, oh, I remember you 30 years back. You were lost. No, no, I'm still alive. I've learned a miracle. Please come and see. So now the master goes to him and he takes him to a river. And he's just wondering, what are they really doing in this river? And he says, I've learned how to walk on water. And the master is very excited. Now he's telling, okay, show me what have you done, really. It's not pouring water and walking on it. He literally crosses the river and comes back. And he says, I've learned a great skill. And the master is just stunned. He's looking at him and he says, so what? And he is now very disappointed. He says, now I'm crossing the river. Can't you see? It's a miracle. I've spent 30 years of learning and you're not even proud of me. And even this guy can do it. And he tells another disciple, he just jumps into the river, he swims, and he comes back. And he says, so what's the big deal? So now, this guy has spent 30 years of his life. He doesn't want to give up. And he says, you know what, with this new skill, I'm going to get a lot of fame. I'm going to get a lot of publicity. The master says, okay, let's see. And he does a lot of advertisement. He becomes like a celebrity and everybody comes, the monk walking on water, the monk walking on water. And 1 week goes and everybody is coming in, watching him, taking pictures, and he's really excited. The end of week 1, he sees that the crowd is slowly coming down. It's just like our session. We started with 300, now we are 270. Crowd comes down, right? And then at the end of week 2, it's only half. And at the end of 1 month, he sees that there's hardly anybody. There is only 1 or 2 people, who are just coming to watch him. So he sees the last visitor, he catches him and says, I want to know why people are just leaving. I'm doing a great miracle here. Why are you leaving? And he says, so everybody is taking pictures. They've done videos. Now it's all going in WhatsApp forwards and Facebooks. So, nobody wants to spend all the time coming here, just seeing you walking on water. They're not gaining anything out of it. And you know what? I don't want to spend 30 years of my life learning this. So excuse me. Is that cool? And he leaves. So now he's very, very disappointed. And he goes back to his master and he says, what to do? But still he doesn't want to give up. And he tells his master, I've saved some money and this guy will prove it to you. So the master is looking at, a poor guy who's just come, and he says, so how did you save money? Sir, I'm a boatman and I charge 10 rupees for this ferry. So then the master looks at him and says, okay, so the cost of your miracle is 10 rupees. This is all you have saved. When you are spending 30 years learning this, the world has progressed. There is water sports, there are water transport, there's zip lining, flights, and things have moved so much ahead. And you wasted 30 years of your precious life learning a skill that is neither helpful for you, nor is it helpful for anyone. So you've just wasted your whole life learning a useless skill. So now that's a good reflection, right? So any skill that you learn, it has to be really relevant. So ensure that it gives you the right value, and you're also making sure that it helps people. If you're not adding value to yourself, if you're not helping anyone, and there is nothing fancy about it, right? So this brings us to the next question. So with so much information going on, what kind of skills do we really, really focus on? And what is one thing or two things or three things that will really set us apart in the crowd? So let me ask you a very simple question. When you send WhatsApp messages, do you put a full stop at the end of the text? No, please don't start checking your phones. So, and do you also use a lot of emojis? What do you think of people who type with pictures and a lot of expressions? And when you send emails, you see a lot of people using capital letters, and you say that's not professional. And there are so many times you sent a message and people have interpreted it completely differently, and you wonder, what's really going on? This is not what I meant, and why are they taking it? Why are they misunderstanding it? So this is all subtle messages. We take these things for granted. We don't pay attention. And this is digital body language. You like it or not, that's a new trend and it's there. And so the faster you adapt to it, the better. But before we go into digital body language, what is more important is your interpersonal skills. So if you don't know how to communicate, how to interact with people, and if you don't have these interpersonal skills, you can never go to a stage of understanding what digital body language is all about. So interpersonal skills are extremely important. You may be an acer, you may be a topper in the college, but if you're not able to present your ideas, if you're not able to communicate it effectively, you don't get through the interview. And once you're done with the interview, then you go to the office and you start seeing a lot of people there, right? And how you communicate with them, how you collaborate with them, this is all very important. And this comes to a very important stage where you feel that interpersonal skills are now extremely important. And then you become a leader, you become a CEO, and you start going into different heights. And what you see is, people who are communicating really well, people who have very good interpersonal skills are leading in the top. People listen to them, they respect them. So interpersonal skills are extremely crucial, no matter what level you are, what stage you are, whether you're a student, you're an aspiring professional, or a leader. This is something that you should never forget. And once you mastered, a significant amount of it, I wouldn't say that there's anybody who's perfect, because we are all learning. So once you mastered it, then you can start understanding bigger, wider concepts like digital body language and different things that are coming in the world. So now the second one, this is my personal favorite, and I hope this will be your favorite too. I'm going to count 3, and this is going to be a very small activity, right? So don't worry, it's not running around and jumping around. It's a very, very simple, straightforward activity. At the count of 3, you're going to touch a product or an object which is closest to you. It could be your mobile, it could be your laptop, it could be anything that you just find it, right? 1, don't hesitate, guys. It's very simple and straightforward. 2, ready? This is the last one. I'm counting 3. For some reason, we assume that you're not, touching your neighbor. They may not like it. And let's assume you're in space where you have no access to any objects or product. You can just touch your clothes. It's very simple, right? Okay. Now let's think about it. Look at the object and think what was it 10 years before? How was this product 50 years back, 100 years back? Did that even exist? And in the absence of this product, how were people communicating? How were people managing or living without it? Today we can't think of a life without a mobile phone, but how are people living 100 years back? Yes, they say necessity is the mother of invention, but what's more important is creative thinking. Every idea comes from creative thinking. We all have a misunderstanding that creative thinking is only for artists, but I can ensure you that creative thinking is for everyone. It's not just for artists, it's for every single human being. This is the same thing that Nikhil had mentioned, Nupur has mentioned, and I'm also mentioning. So you can just imagine how critical and important creative thinking is. And creative thinking never goes out of fashion. So be bold and ensure that you're learning and mastering it. Every single item that you see across is full of creativity. Any product, any object has just evolved over time because it's all credit to creative thinking. Let's assume that you're going to an office. Now you've got a job, you're very happy. Everybody's got access to PowerPoint, Word, Excel, same digital tools, right? So how are you going to make a difference? How is your work going to be different? By using your creative skills. So you can create a competitive advantage by ensuring that your skills or your creative thinking is different than others. And when there's a lot of problems going on, you could be solution centric by using creative thinking, come up with very creative ideas. People will really appreciate. And we all assume that some people are good in creative thinking, but science says otherwise. Every single individual or every human being is innately creative. So every human being is capable of creative thinking. All right. So now let's go to the third skill. And this is my favorite, and I can guarantee that this is going to be your favorite too. So for this, we are going to do a little exercise. And this is going to be a little, simple, short and sweet. And so bear with me. Close your eyes. Be bold, it's okay. You're not going to dream. You're not going to do yoga or meditation. So be bold and close your eyes. It's really important that you experience this exercise. Only then you will know what I'm talking about. So once you've closed your eyes, try to relax. No, I'm not hypnotizing you. So stay calm, relax. So breathe in and breathe out. And we all do the breathing exercise. Ensure that we are all very relaxed. And this has some sort of a science. So breathe in and breathe out. You have to do that 3 times. That's what I saw in videos. So now that you're completely relaxed, reflect on your life and visualize one moment, one spectacular moment of your life where you had the biggest achievement, something that you were very, very proud of. And you feel that, wow, this is something that I'm achieved. And, I'm so happy with myself. And this is the proudest moment. Something that you've done for, your academics, a project, even helping somebody out, helping your family. What was the proudest moment of your life? I know you'll have a lot of things coming up, but just choose one quickly. I presume you have it. Don't overanalyze, overthink. Whatever comes to your mind, make a choice. So now hold on to that moment and run the whole episode in 10 seconds. Not more than that, very quickly, like a flash, it should just flash. What was the moment? And now think about one skill that you really used to create that moment. It could be creative thinking, problem solving, empathy, any skill that, you think that was really helpful. I know you have a lot of skills coming up, but just choose one. Okay, I assume you have it now. So open your eyes. So this is your signature strength, So you can do this exercise multiple times and reflect on a pattern. You will see that this is the same skill that comes repeatedly across, different scenarios and different situations. So if I was doing it, I would look at creative skills, or somebody was doing it, they will look at logical skills. So this is something that comes extremely naturally to you. And you will see a pattern that in all situations, you will use the skill. You will have one primary skill. You will also have some secondary skill. There are a number of skills that human being is capable of doing, but there are some skills that come extremely naturally to us. And what is very good about it is, it's very easy. something that comes naturally, you can work on it, you can enhance it, and that becomes your signature strength. So people will know you for that skill. So instead of trying to learn something or improving your weakness, I would say that build on your strengths. Building on the strengths is a fashion. So please feel free to build on it. It's very easy and something that you will really enjoy and like doing it. So these are the top three skills that I feel are extremely important for someone, especially aspiring students who want to go and get jobs. So it's interpersonal skills, creative thinking skills, and your signature strength skills. And please ensure whatever skill that you're learning is really relevant. You don't want to be the monk walking on water, right? So thank you, everyone. I'll conclude the session here, and I wish you all the best. I hope you enjoy this, and we look forward to hearing from you soon. And all of us are here on LinkedIn, so stay tuned for that.